All right, I'm gonna give everybody the minute to come in here because I skipped all the introductions. So I'm gonna wait till you guys get up in here. All right, I'm gonna text. I'll let Nick know because Nick usually does that. All right, I'm waiting for you guys to get up in here so we could talk about the show. Man, it was nice. Again, a shout out to Fresh. What's up, Andre? Shout out to Fresh for having me on the show. Much appreciated. I gotta tell you. Man, hey Andre, we were right, man. Everything comes full circle for sure. Everything comes full circle. You guys a minute to get up in here. It kind of reminded me of it's crazy when it's time to ask questions, man. People now I wasn't reading the chat, so I didn't see any of the chat, so I don't know what they were saying at all. But it's like I don't know if people are scared to ask me questions. I'm not quite sure what that is, but man, what's up, Omanike? It was cool. What's up, Nick? Appreciate it. Shout out to Nick for sending you guys the notices, man. I appreciate that help. Thank you, thank you. So I don't know if all you guys watched it, but I'm here to hear some critiquing, something that maybe I can improve, maybe some things I should say more of, or I didn't say. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't really, everything. Right, because it's not meant to be. And after the show, I was telling Fresh, I was like, this live will probably be the lowest viewed live on your channel because they don't really understand it. But that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Oh, okay. All right. Red dollars were the fix, though. I'm glad I got to do that red dollar thing on the channel. That was nice. That's gonna catch a lot of people. They're gonna be like, "What? Damn, he's right. The calculator does say I have negative $600 in my hand." Sub Luminoff. Salute to LJ and S&B fam. I'll catch the replay for this one, but great stream with Fresh. Thank you. I just, it's just sometimes I just expect more. It's like, hey man, let me ask you a question. But I think what it is it's such a shock to hear a person saying the things I'm saying that they really don't know a question to ask, because it's a shocker. It's like it would shock me if I heard somebody say, hey, you mean I don't really own a house with a mortgage? No. According to who? You the bank? It's like I never thought about it that way. I know. Me neither. That's why I financed a couple houses in my lifetime. Sure did. And I thought I was a homeowner each time, and I wasn't at all. Let me put this link down here. And if I got some new subs, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming over here. I got to check my subs. I didn't even look. Let me see where I'm at. See if I got some new subs coming over here. Oh, I got a few. Okay. A few came over. Got a few. People, I want, it's like, I want people to understand what it's more than just getting out of debt. It's SMD changes your life forever. I help you own yourself by showing you mathematically that you don't. And all you got to do is this. All you got to do is trust the calculator. All you got to do is say, I believe it. If you open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, all you got to do is believe the calculator and know you're not a homeowner. Okay, that's all you got to do. It is a shock. First thing they have to say to themselves is, I'm a debt slave, for sure. They got to first say that. You got to admit, and people really don't understand that that's a good thing if you say, I'm a debt slave. That's a good thing because millions of debt slaves don't even know they are. So Michael says, I thought America is a corporate nation. I thought America is a corporate nation and everything runs on credit, like most of the millionaires don't own a house. That's true. Okay. All I'm saying is that the economy has a positive side and a negative side. Okay. Millionaires that do that, they're on the positive side of the economy. Okay. That's more business. That's business related stuff. That's what that is. I'm not against business debt. Business debt is okay because there's a reason for that. Taxes, area, who knows? There's reasons. But when you own yourself first, put it this way, Michael, when you own yourself first and you walk into the bank and you ask for a business loan, the first thing you're going to do is run your credit. If you own yourself, meaning no other businesses own you, they're going to know that you own yourself. So they're going to treat you accordingly when you get the business loan. They're going to know immediately because you own yourself, period. What's up, Kang? Snuggles, hello? Yeah, business debt means no personal guarantee, for sure. 200 day. Yeah, this is just the after, just to see if you got the people that watched it, maybe you got some questions that didn't ask over there, and they're coming over here to ask this question. This is the time. This is when you could ask me the questions for free. If you want to own yourself and change your life forever, come see me. Your life will change forever. You will be the best in anything you do. Nobody will be able to mess with you in finances. It doesn't matter. Any professional in personal debt, at least. Nobody will be able to trick you financially. Nobody will be able to fool you. You'll be different than everybody else. Like right now, nobody can mess with me in finances. Nobody can trick me. Nobody can do stuff like that because I know capitalism is psychological. I know that. So unless a person can trick in math, that's good luck with that, Quick comments before I go. There was one person in the Fresh chat who tried to clown you for still renting at your age. He just doesn't know. That's why I just turn excuse me. That's why I just turn off the chat because I don't really like reading debt slave chitter chatter. You know what I'm saying? Most likely it was a person that had student loan debt, making car payments, and I don't really care what debt slaves think of me because I own myself, right? You're not going to really care the opinion of somebody that doesn't own themselves. Like that doesn't make any sense, right? Should you take from your pension to pay off debt? I would have to see where you are in debt at because that has tax penalties. So I would have to see where you are in your personal debt. That's what I'd have to see. I do. And that's a great question, Jack, because I want you to understand something, okay? Capitalism is worldwide. It doesn't matter if UK is capitalist, the United States is capitalist. That means psychological capitalism goes there. So it's the same thing, but they use different paper there. We use green paper here. You guys use different color paper there, but it doesn't matter because people that are in debt in the UK, they don't know currency doesn't exist for them either. It doesn't matter if they're holding it. They still believe you buy mortgages and houses. You could buy a mortgage with a house and paper money exists. It's all the same. It will work there too. I want you guys, it doesn't mean just because we're different countries, as long as the UK is capitalist, that's all that matters. So great question. If you want to reach me, this is how you do it right here. Schedule a consultation. Right there. Or you can email me. Okay. SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com or SavingsMinusDebt.com to schedule a consultation. Okay. If you are, listen, I want you guys to really understand what it means to understand that capitalism is psychological. If you live in a country that is capitalist, come see me. That's all you got. Come see me. Come see me. I'll make you the best tax person I'll make you the best accountant, especially anything to do with money and taxes. Come see me. If this is your profession and you listen, if you are a professional tax person, but you are in personal debt and you always have been in personal debt, come see me. If you are a professional accountant, but you have always been in personal debt, come see me. I will make you one of the best accountants. I will make you one of the best tax professionals. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And your peers won't even know how you're doing. You're like, man, how is this person climbing up the ladder so fast? And then you break off and own your own business, and you hire all your people within your business are all debt free. You'll be the best firm in the one of the best firms in the United States of America. I promise you that. Promise you. Every Day is Sunny says, great job on the show. By the way, the same way you are on your channel didn't change during the interview. You know what's so crazy? Every day, I think people probably do that. No, I'm me. I'm me. I'm not changing. No, I want you guys to understand the freedom of understanding capitalism is psychological. I want you guys to understand this. It's empowering. It's a financial superpower. Financial superpower. You won't have to guess at the stock market. You'll know debt slaves of the stock market. You would look at it totally different. You know, when you go to a trading channel or some kind of, and they got all these screens and all these numbers are scrolling across the screen and all these charts and stuff. You know what that stuff is? That's debt slave activity. Those are debt slaves scrolling across the bottom. You see the heels of the graphs? Those are debt slaves movements. That's what they do. That's all that stuff. That it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. What's up, Grump? I got to see you whole live. I'll be making my day when they get upset. Okay. I didn't like I said, I didn't read the chat when they get upset about the numbers. Of course. Hey. But again, I don't care how debt slaves feel about me. You don't own yourself, so it doesn't matter. If you're making if you don't like me or what I do and you're making car payments, if you don't like me and you've had student loan debt older than children, okay, well, I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to feel about that. I don't. Your student loans are older than your children and you don't like me? What am I supposed to say about that? What's up, KB? I rent. I've done so all my life and have more financial capital and assets and freedom than all my friends with houses because I'm above zero. See, this is the throwing away. I bet you this. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you the statement of throwing away money on rent, I bet you the banks made that up. I bet you the bank said, hey, say this. Throw that out. Say, hey, you're throwing away money on rent because debt slaves don't know that they're renting when they have a mortgage. You're making a payment, debt slave. What are you talking about? Oh, because they changed the word from renting to mortgage. You think, no. You know the difference between renters and people with mortgages? You know the difference between people with mortgages and renters? Renters know they're renting. People with mortgages do not. They don't know they're renting from the bank. They don't even know. They think they don't know. They think they own something with no money. They tried to pull that business credit tactic on you. You talking personal. Yeah. Well, again, Grump, you know what I'm saying. Grump, debt slaves don't know the difference between personal debt and business debt. If you ever listen to somebody talk about finances and they keep jumping, oh yeah, but my mortgage, I get this, my mortgage is this. And then they say, yeah, I got this rental property though, it's bringing in this money over here and this and that. They're flip-flopping. When you get into business, taxes don't work like that. You can't do that. When you co-mingling personal and business, the IRS says, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Can't do that. Sure does. Exactly. Renting from the bank. What are your thoughts on living in hotels versus apartments? I've never lived in a hotel, so I can't really speak on that. I don't know. But if you're renting, let me make sure this is clear, you guys, okay? To the renters, so you don't get caught up in So you don't get caught up in the debt slave, hey, stop throwing away money on rent. Anybody, listen, anybody that comes up to you and tells you stop throwing away money on rent, this is what you say. Do you have a mortgage? When they say yes, you stop listening to them. They don't know that they don't own anything. Hey, I just bought a house. With a mortgage? Yeah. They don't know they didn't buy anything. They didn't buy nothing. The bank bought them. Listen, mortgages buy people, not houses. Mortgages don't buy houses. Mortgages buy people. Only cash buys houses. Okay. I want you guys to understand that. Cash. There is no other. So all you listen to the words. Okay. That's how you know if somebody understands capitalism is psychological. If you hear them say, I bought a house and they have a mortgage, they want you to be like them. They are owned. The bank owns them. The bank owns them through the house. They are the equity. They are the mortgage. They are the appreciation. It's them. They don't know that though. You're not throwing away money on rent. Hey, stop. Here it goes. Say like you and your friends, because I want people to understand this. Say like you and a friend had no debt. You guys live with each other, paying let's say $500 a piece for rent. You guys are renting an apartment. You leave because you feel like you're throwing away money on rent, so you go buy a house for $300,000. And now you're making mortgage payments and you're $300,000 in debt. And you think the person that's paying $500 rent is throwing away money and you're $300,000 in debt when you wasn't in debt at first. But now you're $300,000 in debt, believing you own something. You don't even own yourself. You sold yourself for the house. When you have no debt, you own yourself. You go get a mortgage, the bank owns you through the house. If you have got the money, would you say it's best to buy a car or finance it under your business if you're self-employed, so you're taxed at the end of the year? Put it this way. First, I have to see if you own yourself first before we start talking about financing cars and putting it under the business. I have to see if you own yourself first, because if you put it this way, and I want to make sure this is clear for people. If you are in personal debt, you do not know, nor will you know, how to finance a car under the business. You won't know because you don't know personally. So you're definitely not going to know in business why. Hey, we can write off on taxes. When you're in debt, you cannot write off on taxes. You cannot save money on taxes when you're in debt. You can't. If you have a mortgage and you think you're saving money writing off interest on something, you're not. You're not doing anything. Debt slaves cannot save money on taxes. You can't, because you need money to save money on taxes. So let me give an example so you can understand. If you invest into your retirement, say like you invest into your 401k of $5,000, right? And then the IRS says, well, if you invest in $5,000 in your 401k, you could take $5,000 off of your annual income, therefore reducing you in your tax bracket, okay? But if you have student loan debt, open up the calculator, put in 5,000 minus your student loan balance equals the money you have to invest into the 401k for retirement and to reduce your tax bracket. You don't have no money to do that. You're in debt. People in student loan debt can't do that. You can't save money on tax. You can't do nothing. You're in debt. Advice on family members envying you for being debt free. That's a good question. First of all, come and be part of the S&D family so you can get with people that understand how it works and how it speaks and whatever, right? How to talk amongst each other. You can join the Discord server, talk to other S&D family members. But you got to realize, as a debt-free person, you are now very different. You are free, you're stress-free, your life is different. You know that you don't need a job. You know that a boss can't talk to you any old way. A job is a tool. You're just there to make some money and leave. You're not there to make friends or stay there for 30 years until retirement. Because debt slaves believe retirement's an age, but you're not. You got to realize how free you are. And then you got to express that so they can see that, because they're not going to talk with you about being debt free because they're in debt. So they don't know what that's like. But just be free, do what you want, travel, because they don't know you could be free with no debt. Just get to zero. But they think you have to have millions of dollars. So make sure you express that to other, especially family members. You make sure you let them know that you don't care how people feel about you that don't own themselves. Never care about what a debt slave thinks about you. It doesn't matter. You will learn to just ignore them, especially with people with low self-esteem. Let me tell you something. This right here will boost your self-esteem through the stratosphere. You'll be waving at Elon Musk rockets. Hey, Elon. Hey, what's up? Oh, yeah. I'm just up here psychologically. I'm not up here physically, but I'm free. Elon be like, I'm the only one going to Mars. Debt slaves are paying for my rocket ships by financing my electric cars. How do you think I'm getting there, LJ? Well, good luck with you. What's up, Aaron? Let's say you have no debt. Let's say you have no debt. What is the best plan to buy a house in cash when your income is not that high? Okay, you got to rewire your brain. The only way to buy a house is in cash. There is no other way. Make sure you understand that. You gotta let that soak in. There is no other way to buy a house. Then once you accept that, you're like, okay, then your brain will change. Well, what do I have to do to achieve that? And then your brain will start kicking in. What is that? Neuroplasticity. The brain can rewire itself. It can. That's true. Once you understand and you own yourself, the banks will treat you different. If you decide to go, when you own yourself and you decide to go get a mortgage and you walk in and they run your credit report and you own yourself, the banks are going to treat you very differently because they're going to know that you understand capitalism is psychological because you're proving it. No business owns you. You don't care about a credit score. You don't have to be involved in credit. That's debt slave stuff. You don't really have to. Credit scores don't mean nothing. They don't mean anything. Only debt slaves believe credit score. If you're looking for loans to borrow money, I guess credit scores are important to you. Right. Never pull down your mask in public. You guys can do whatever you want to do. I just don't pull down my mask in public. I just don't do that. Nothing more awkward than when your family say, "Oh, you don't have any loans, I see," and give that look to you. Yep, and then you give that look right back to them. Yep, I did what it took to get out of debt. Are you willing to do it? No, then no, you can't borrow no money. Oh, you ain't got no debts. You ain't got no bills. Can I borrow some money? No. When you own yourself, oh man, you guys don't know the power of no. Woo, you don't know. No. You go out on a date, girl comes up to you, can I buy you a drink? No. Why not? I don't buy girls drinks. No. You guys think I'm joking. I'm not. Oh, you broke you because you can't. Hey, think whatever you want to think. I don't care what you think. I'll say that to myself. When you don't follow the norm, you're labeled weird and selfish, but I'm fine with that. Hey, when people do that, those are debt slaves. Once you understand capitalism is psychological and understand, listen, I want you guys to really understand this. Debt slaves are the currency. It's them. It's not the paper. Okay, this is all you guys got to do. Okay, this is all you got to do. Go to the government website, type in Google, say, how much does it cost to print a $100 bill? Okay, go Google it. The last time I looked, it cost 17 cents to print a $100 bill. Now you got to ask yourself, is it worth 100 or is it worth 17 cents? It doesn't matter. It's psychological. It doesn't matter the price. The 17 cent to cost to print it should tell you something. It should tell you that, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, because it's psychological. It's you guys are the money, debt slaves. It's you. It's you. You guys are everything. You guys are the taxes, the mortgages, the stock market, the FTX, the cryptocurrency, whatever. It's all you guys. The economy is positive and negative. Debt slaves are on the negative side. I'm on the positive side. S&D family, we are on the positive side. Debt slaves are the economy. I know. And people that also understand that capitalism is psychological, they also know too. You guys are the currency. It's you. Like, put it this way. Okay. You know how, like, when I was a debt slave and I didn't understand that capitalism was psychological, you know what I used to always hear? Hey, Jewish people are really good with money. They always have all the money and blah, blah, blah. I used to say to myself, why is that? Why do? They obviously know to use mathematics with their money. They obviously know that. Maybe the majority of Jewish people just know, hey, I use the calculator to calculate my money. Duh. You guys think it's a special group of people? They just might use the calculator the majority of Jewish people might use the calculator for their money. It's not a big secret. They just trust it. Hey, don't finance cars. I guarantee you Jewish people are like, hey, that's dumb. Don't finance a car. That's dumb. Finance something that's going down in value? No, I don't do that. Oh, I know mortgages. I guarantee you they know mortgages don't buy houses. I guarantee you they do. I guarantee the majority of them I guarantee the majority of own their house. Because you guys don't really understand phantom income. Let me explain it to you. Say like the average mortgage payment was $2,000 a month. Say like that was the average mortgage payment. If you don't have a mortgage, you now make $2,000 more per month than the millions and millions of people that believe a mortgage is normal. All of them, they all believe it. They all believe they can own equity in a mortgaged house. You can't do that. That's impossible. You can't do that. But they're on the negative side. I understand why the banks do that. That's business. I don't care what the banks do. So what? Think about it. You know how long it must have taken for the banks to get debt slaves to believe, millions of debt slaves, to believe that it takes 30 years to pay off one house. Are you insane? 30 years of your life to pay off one house? Who told you that? Now they're bumping it up to 40 years. Don't fall for it, young people. You're on the wrong side. Don't go on that side. That's the wrong side. You want to be on the positive side, the money-making side. Great job, bank. Good job. How much you got in car loan money? Trillions. How much you got in mortgage? Trillions. You guys are doing well. Well. So I'm guessing what you're not down with is the fire movement. I don't really follow the fire movement. I mean, they're along the same, but when you say I'm not down with them, I don't really know enough about them to be not down with them. What does that mean? What'd you say, Andre? You said when you understand fire is irrelevant. Got it. See, I don't really know enough about fire. I've heard about it, but I don't know enough about it to say, oh, they don't know this and that. But if they're talking about getting out of personal debt, it's pretty much the same. Don't buy stock, issue it. Debt slaves are like, what? Issue it? What? Right now, you are the stock, debt slave, so you can't issue yourself. Like if you have student loan debt and you're investing in the stock market, that makes you the stock because you can't invest in the stock market while having student loan debt. You can't do that. Say like this. Say like you're a person that has invested in the stock market while having a car payment. Okay. Open up the calculator app on your phone and put in your car payment minus your car balance and hit equal. That's how much money you had to put into the stock market. That's how much money you had. Now you're probably confused. You're probably saying, You're probably thinking to yourself, well, LJ, that's a large negative number. I know that. The calculator knows that. You don't know that. So since you believe you can invest in the stock market while having car payments, that makes you the stock. The stock market is you guys. That's all you. You guys are the stock market. You guys are taxes. Debt slaves. Do you guys know you guys finance taxes? You hate taxes so much. Listen, you hate taxes so much, you finance them. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean? What do you mean? When you go to buy a car, and you go finance it, you don't have the money for the car. You also don't have the money for the taxes. So you guys finance the whole thing at an interest rate that the bank dictates. They wrap it all together. They wrap all the fees, the taxes, the price of the car, and whatever else the car lot puts on the thing, put it in a bow, and then the bank wraps it up and put an interest rate on top of it. Hence, finance and taxes. You guys are financing taxes. If your phone is financed, that's a major red flag. If your phone is if you're making phone payments, that's a major financial red flag. You don't want to keep doing that. You don't want to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. That was fun. Me and Fresh and I were bouncing back and forth a couple times, trying to get some times down. And finally came up with this quick one. Had to rearrange my schedule, a couple things, and got it in there. So for those of you that I reschedule with, please accept my apologies. It was just spur of the moment. So you guys know I don't normally do that, but I had to rearrange this for this little spot. I'm about to make a decent purchase for a car with a credit card. And how come you're not buying it in cash? Why are you using a credit card instead of cash? Why are you doing that? Do you advise to... Oh, Eric says, what's wrong with financing a phone? Eric, the better question is, how come you don't have the money to buy a phone? That's the better question. You got to say that to yourself. How come how come I've been working all these years and I don't have the money to buy a phone in cash? That's the better question. Because financing phones, that's bad. That's very bad. That's a red flag. That's very bad. If you thought a car goes down in value when you finance a car, every debt slave seems to know that. You guys don't know the rate of a cell phone. That's unbelievable. That's like supersonic light speed squared. Do you advise to own stuff? Do you advise to not own stuff, just rent? It depends on your financial situation, you got to think about it like this, okay? You guys, so you can get a better understanding. Your rent or your mortgage is your largest expense out of all your debts. That is where you live is the largest. Imagine if you eliminated that early in life. If you paid your house off in 5 to 7 years, guess what? You never have rent or mortgage for the rest of your life. There is no stock that's going to pay better than that. There is no stock. There is no stock better than that. None. Own your house while everybody else believes that having a mortgage or rent is normal. You will know that it's not normal. It's normal for them. It's normal for them. Would you say it's a bad movie, especially if the card I'll have 18 months to... Oh, a bad move. Okay, I'm sorry. If the car will 18 months to pay back don't do that. Ask yourself this, Dark Knight. How come I don't have the money to buy the car? That's the same question. How come I just don't buy it in cash? What's the problem with buying in cash? Because if you're looking at 18 months to pay it back and all this other stuff, you're doing it because you don't have the money to buy it. The 18 months, same as cash, is just bait on a hook to get you guys in there. Because what you guys don't know is that anything can happen in 18 months. Anything could happen. And then you're on the hook for some money. You don't want to do that. I thought cash is king and credit is queen. So, what the purpose of a credit card? For me, a credit card is protection. When I use my credit card everywhere, if a scammer gets it, there's a lot of financial scammers they're debt slaves, but they're in the sewers. Financial scammers live in the sewers of the debt matrix. They're the rats and the roaches. Those are financial scammers. Okay, they're the rats and the roaches. All right. So I use my credit card everywhere. So if I use it somewhere and there's a skimmer or something at a store or whatever, they just get my credit card. The credit card companies has trillions and trillions of dollars. They can cover $100, $200 loss, no problem. They got trillions of dollars. And they can see by my pattern, by I use it, they know that I understand that capitalism is psychological. By the way I use my credit card, use it, pay it off. Use it, pay it off. The reason why I'm not using cash because I don't have it yet. I have yet, but I definitely have. Because I don't have yet, but I don't have yet. And I want to push my credit to 800, not. So what you're saying is this. In order to boost your credit score to 800, you want to pay more for a vehicle. You want to pay more for a depreciating object than what it's worth today. Because say like the car is $40,000. In order to boost your credit score to 800, you want to pay more than $40,000 for now the car. They're selling it for the value and probably a little bit more so they can make a profit. So they're selling it over than what its value. But since you want your credit score to 800, you're willing to pay more for a car that's worth less value to get your credit score to 800. Credit is a business. You don't have to be part of the credit score business. That's a business. You don't have to be part of it. You don't. What are your thoughts on life insurance if you have young children? Own yourself first so you can have money for life insurance. Put it this way, I promise you, if you come see me, I will help you own yourself. And once you own yourself, you will naturally teach this to your children. And you'll know exactly, like, when it's time, when you own yourself first, and when it's time to get life insurance, this is what you do. You go find a person who sells life insurance who is personally debt-free. They will teach you which life insurance policies to get. I promise you. You go see a person who is a professional. They must be personally debt-free, and you must ask to see their personal credit report. If the answer is no, then don't listen to them. Don't take any advice from them. Because they don't even own their own life, and they're trying to sell you life insurance, and they don't even own their own life. You don't want that kind of advice. What's up, Arlene? Thank you very much. Much appreciated. SMD family members in the house. Thoughts on nomad life for young people? I don't know what that is. What's nomad life? I understand I don't have the money because I didn't have enough, but with 2 jobs and my transition, the car's value is around $17,000, but due to the situation of the rebuilt car, this is what I suggest. I suggest if you don't have the money, stop looking at the car. Don't worry about its value. What you're doing is, you don't really understand, but you're wasting your energy on something that you cannot buy. People say, hey man, I got to get on this because I'm a loot. You're not going to lose anything because you don't have no money to buy it. If you finance it, you're losing. Immediately, you're financing. People with mortgage. People with car loans. They don't know that put it this way. When you look up the Blue Book value of a vehicle, the value that you see in Kelley Blue Book is for people who pay cash for cars. If you want to look up the Blue Book value of your car, you call the bank and say, hey, what's my balance? That's the Blue Book value of your car. If you finance a car, don't go to Kelley Blue Book. Don't look on Google. It's not there. You got to call your bank and say, what's my auto loan balance? That's your Blue Book value of your car. You get it? You got to, You got to understand that capitalism is psychological. Man, you dropping gems. Okay. My father and mother spoke a ton about stuff and how they don't truly own the house till they don't have their debt. What'd you say? And how they don't truly own the house till they don't have debt. Well, it's just, I'm just quoting math. I really am quoting math. Crackle says, nomad life before you have kids. Yes, do it. Yes, you need to have life insurance, but take care of those babies. Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Okay. All right. 2017 Honda Civic. By the way, it'll be my second car purchase. The first I bought cash and felt so good. And you got to remember, the only way to buy a car, you just got to remember, the only way to buy a car is in cash. There is no other way to buy a car. There is no other way. There is no other way to buy a house. Like, put it this way, when I was a debt slave, I was a six-figure earning debt slave. I was a computer engineer. I was a VMware engineer for 20 years. I remember going to work in Seattle traffic and saying to myself, damn, there's no way out of this. How am I going to, everyday traffic is just going to be part of life? No, it's not. You know who's in traffic? People with car payments. The very thing that I was making car payments on is what was putting me in traffic. Car payments. Car payments would put me in traffic. Now that I own myself, I'm not in. I go into traffic by either by accident, on purpose, or never at all. But I get to choose. Do you think owning cars is a waste of money? Not only it depreciates, but cost of maintenance and well, I don't think it's a waste of money. It counts on what you're using. Do you need a car where you live? I don't think it's a waste of money. I need a car where I live. I do. But when you own your car, it's not a waste of money. You don't have a monthly car payment. So say like this. Say like, again, let's go back to the average car payment. The average car payment is $700 a month, right? 700 times 1 year times 12 months. That's $8,400, okay? If you own your car and you have a problem that you need to fix it, you now have $8,400 extra dollars in your bank account to fix all your car problems every year. And your car's not going to break down every single year. You have the money. While everybody else believe car payments are normal, you will have the money into your account. So when your car breaks down, you just put it in the shop and say, fix it. Call me when it's done. Goodbye. Do you know when I put my truck in the shop, my mechanic gets that shit done ASAP because I'm paying. I don't care when he's done, pay. I'm like, hey, man, I'm dropping off my car. I need this major work done. Take your time. Dude, hey, LJ, your truck's done. I was like, damn, I told you to take your time. He puts me to the top of the list. Why? Because I pay. I walk in, pay, done. I don't care what it costs. What's the bill? Done. Because he does excellent work. If the average car payment is $700 a month, that's $8,400 a year. If you don't have a car payment, you now make $8,400 more per year than the average millions and millions of people that think car payments are normal. That's how it works. That's called phantom income. That's what that's called. I'm 30K debts. 30K debt slave with a goal to make 50 next year. Once I finish my doctorate degree, I will be making close to 100. I may look at another car that's cheaper. How are you paying for school? Dark Knight, how are you paying for school? Yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard to find a it's really easy because when you come in, like when you're debt free and you come into a mechanic shop, they can tell the people that have money that are here to get their shit fixed and pay the money and be out. They treat you different. I promise you, everything's different. They know because it's business. It's like they are here for business. They are here. They don't want to hear no excuse why you can't pay or make some payments. They are here to run a business. They fix your shit. You pay, right? when I go, he's on it, fixes it fast. When I was a debt slave, the car broke as soon as I got it paid off. When I paid cash, guess guess what? I take care of that. That is true, Crackle. That is true. That is true. You take care of your car very different when you pay cash. That is very true. Put it this way, Dark Man, you need to stop looking at cars. Stop looking at cars. Just keep the car you have. If it's paid off, stop looking at cars. Just stop. Because you said you're 30,000 in debt. You haven't. If you're 30,000 in debt, you have no money for a car. You have no money for a car, or unless you're saying you make 30. Okay, maybe you're saying you make 30 and you're going to 50. Okay, maybe that's what you're saying. It sounded like you said you were 30K in debt. Maybe I was reading that wrong. Do you think electric cars are better? They have less maintenance, plus you don't have to worry about mechanics. Well, this is what you guys also got to understand. It doesn't matter how a finance car is powered. So say it like this. Think about all the people with finance Teslas. They really believe that they're saving money on gas. Now, if this is you, if you're a person that owns a finance Tesla, this is what I want you to do. I want you to open up your calculator app, put in your electric car payment minus your electric car balance, and then hit equal. Okay, let's look at the calculator together. That's how much gas you're saving. Now you're probably stuck. This is what I call a glitch in the debt matrix. You're going to be like, but LJ, that's a negative number. I'm not saving anything. I know you're not saving nothing. You finance an electric car. And say like this. Do you know people with finance cars, they sit at the charging stations for like an hour? Now, if you had a gas car, all the people with gas cars, if you pulled up to a gas station and they said it's going to take an hour to fill your car, would you stay there? But people with finance Teslas do. They do that. They wait in line. Some wait in line. Some wait in line to get to the charging station and then spend another 45 minutes at the charging station. Only debt slaves do that. People that pay cash for Teslas, guess what? They have superchargers at home. Why? Because they could afford to buy the Tesla in cash. You think if I buy my Tesla in cash, you think I'm waiting at a charging station? No. I'm pulling into the house, plug it up, go in the house. I'm not sitting in the car. I'm not doing that. Let's see here. Exactly. That's what you got to do. But you got to take your pride out of it. If you want to, hey, listen, if you want to be debt free and you want to own yourself one day, you have to take your pride out of it. You cannot be embarrassed about your car. Like if you go buy a car in cash and it's a lower end car and your friends got all better cars than you, but if they're making car payments, it doesn't matter because that's the bank's car. They don't know it's the bank's car. They're washing it, putting rims on it, putting systems in it. You think the bank cares about that? The bank don't care about none of that as long as you're making the payments on time, period. I brought my mom to Costco today, and it was packed. Okay, I only go on weekdays. Yeah, me too. Weekday afternoons, they're all at work making money to pay their car note and for the car that brings them to work back. And you know that's true. I always go to Costco while all the debt slaves are at work. Costco will be empty, be totally empty, or go towards closing time. I mean, the Costco's is pretty much yours. It's pretty much yours. I graduated from undergrad this year. With about 5,000 in student loan debt, which I'm so pissed about. But through the first year being out of state, I had to. Okay, got it. That's nothing. That's good. 5,000 is nothing. Be happy. There's a lot of people that will be jealous of your $5,000. I promise you that. What do you recommend for an 18-year-old joining the Air Force looking to buy a decent car? How should they go about save up the money? 18-year-old, Don't go in debt. 18, okay? I wish somebody would have told me this at 18. I don't know if I would even listen, but I'm just saying, understand when you are 18, you are free. You have more money than probably your parents, all the people that are older than you, driving nice cars, living in nice houses. Those people are in debt and they don't know it. Debt slaves, you got to remember, debt slaves own nothing. They don't own anything. Debt slaves believe that they can buy things with no money, buy houses with mortgages. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. You can't own the equity in a mortgaged house. You can't do that. You can't cash flow from a mortgage rental property. You can't. Who told you that? The internet. That's not, none of that is mathematically true. None of it is true. None of it. But listen, if you want to be free, all you have to do is trust the calculator. That's all you got to do is trust the calculator. If you ever want to know capitalism is psychological, trust the calculator. That's all you got to do. Go to the service, serve your country, get the benefits from the service, stay out of debt, and you'll be the richest, one of the most people in the service that has the most money. Don't get into service, finance, and cars, because if you notice, like when you see on bases, have you noticed that all those places are littered with finance places to finance cars? Have you noticed that? Because they know you guys don't know, especially when you're young. Don't do any of that. Don't finance nothing. Nothing. Don't finance anything. But you're 18. The only thing I say you could finance is a house, period. But other than that, nothing. And that's pushing it. I'm just saying that because you have time on your side to pay it off over time. I took her to lunch instead. I'll bring her on weekday when it's empty. Yeah, forget that crowded stuff. I can't stand a crowded Costco. Because when you go to Costco when it's crowded, I know this is off the subject. People don't know how to. Why are you parking your cart right in the middle of the aisle? Don't you see all these people? A person will come in the middle of the aisle, turn their cart sideways, and then leave it, and then go walk over to the stuff. I'm like, how do you not know that? I don't get it. But that's my Costco gripe. Same with solar panels. Financing those does not offset your no. You're not saying, hey, listen, if you finance solar panels on top of your finance house and think you're saving money on electricity, you're not saving anything. You are so far from saving any kind of electricity, your head will spin. You're not saving nothing. Hey, my electricity bill's going down. No, it's not. No, it's not. You just increase the value of the bank's house. When you finance solar panels for your mortgaged house, you just increase the value of the bank's house. You think like what the majority of people do, what debt slaves do, they'll take out a second mortgage and take that money and finance the solar panels and think they've increased the house when they took out more money against the house that they don't own. It's bananas how it works. It's like a masterpiece. It's like, man, how do you get millions of people? You know how long that must have taken? That had to have taken 100 years to get millions of people to believe that they own a house with now a 40-year mortgage. You know they're going 40-year mortgages now? Bananas. I also don't have a car anymore. I sold it and I didn't need one for about 8 months, but now I'm in a small town away from. Just buy another car. All you got to do is take your cash and you can buy a reliable car from a debt slave. There are right now, you got to remember, I know capitalism is psychological. Do you know how many people are in trouble right now with they're trying to give away their cars. Trying to give it away. Debt slaves also don't understand that they cannot even change their own oil because the bank wants to make sure their car is well taken care of by the certified. Yes. If you borrow their money, you have to follow their rules. That seems okay to me. Hey, if you borrow the bank's money to buy a car, you have to follow their rules. You got to get insurance. You got to get gap insurance. Debt slave, if you got gap insurance, you know how big of a debt slave you are if you got gap insurance? That's bad news bears right there. That's like you so far upside down in your car. It's like Gap insurance is only for people, for debt slaves upside down in a car. That's the purpose of gap insurance. The value between the space between the value of your car and what you owe. Like if you owe $10,000, if your car is worth $10,000, but you owe $15,000, gap insurance fills that gap because you're upside down in the car. And if you're upside down in the car, ooh, you guys don't even have any money to buy yourself out of the car. You can't, you have no money. Can you imagine being, millions of you guys are in this position, making payments on a car that's not even worth the value that you're paying, but you can't stop. You have to keep paying. Can you imagine being in that position? Ooh, no. Knowing every time you make that monthly payment, you know your car is not worth the monthly payment, but you need it to get to work. Screwed. Stuck. Mm. 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 Exactly. Down hours. For sure. Store straight desert and employees stocking the shelves. Exactly. What would you recommend for a high school dropout? This one, oh, this is a good one. High school dropout. Let me tell you something. Come see me. Because like as a high school dropout, you probably like, oh man, I feel so low. I didn't graduate high school, but this is what you guys are not seeing. I college educated degree. I got an engineering degree, and I'm not saying that to be bragging. Never once did anybody, any job I say, hey, do you got got a college degree. So they don't ask for high school diplomas. All you got to do is this. The people that try to talk down to you that having college degrees, that's all you got to say to them. Do you have student loan debt? If this person with the college degree has $100,000 in student loan debt, and you don't have no student loan debt because you dropped out of school, you have more money than them. They're $100,000, $200,000 in debt. You have more money than them. Who cares what they think? It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't. They're in debt. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All the debt slaves at work. Yep. My car is ugly. It's missing mismatching pieces. It's transfender, but it identifies as a BMW. Once you own yourself, you won't really care what your car looks like. You just, especially from people making car payments, you won't care. No, just Fresh's channel, Fresh's personal channel, not the main channel. What do you think about getting a triplex before a house? I'm thinking of getting one in the next year. If you are personally debt free, yes. But if you're not personally debt free, no. Don't do that. What's up, Alonzo? That's a good thing. What is gap insurance? You don't want to know. That's a good thing. If you asking that question, that means you don't have it and you probably never will. It's a good thing. That's a good thing. PDR says, I have 5,000 and I have 6,000 left on my car loan. Okay. I'm scared of paying the full thing in case of emergencies. What should I do? All right, PDR, this is what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to open up your calculator app on your phone right now. I want you to do this with me. Put in 5,000 minus 6,000. That's how much money you have in the bank. Open up the calculator. I'm going to take your numbers. Open up the calculator. Put in 5,000 minus 6,000. You have negative $1,000 in the bank. That's the calculator saying, PDR, yeah. You don't have $5,000 in the bank. You have negative $1,000 in the bank. That's what the calculator. Now, here's the difficult task, PDR. Which one are you going to believe? The calculator that's never, ever, 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 ever wrong? Or are you going to believe you have $5,000 in the bank? Which one are you going to believe? It's totally up to you. I really wanted that car, but I guess I'm just get a car I can pay in cash, $4,000. Anybody know? Oh, okay. All right. All right. Let's go drop out, learn sales. Yeah, you can learn a trade, do something, man. Just stay out of debt. Just stay out of debt. I'm currently renting my Tesla on Turo. I'm stressed Free. Okay. Don't have to worry about maintenance. Congratulations, for sure. Congratulations. When you're debt free, you have options. You really do. You don't. If it counts on it counts on your where you live, what you do. It really counts on that. But appreciate it, Kang. Shout out to Nick. Thank you, sir. You are very welcome. This would, believe it or not, okay. But the SMD family knows. Everybody, I want you all to become multimillionaires. And this is all you have to do. All you have to do is understand that capitalism is psychological and you will be wealthy. You will. You got to put in the work. I can lay out the blueprint for you. First, I help you understand that capitalism is psychological. Currency doesn't exist for debt slaves. Nothing. They are the currency. It's them. You will know how to do the stock market because you'll know the stock market is debt slaves. Insurance plans are debt slaves. Retirement plans are debt slaves. Retirement's not an age. They just tell you that so you can put money in a retirement plan. That's all. You don't have to wait to 65 to retire. You can retire anytime you want. That's not an age. That's a trick. You're welcome. I found you on Fresher Stream. I resonate to what you're saying. I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. I do. Listen, and this is what I want you guys to understand, especially the new people. In order for psychological capitalism to work, the majority must be in debt and the minority must not be. There must be a small percentage of us that know capitalism is psychological and the majority must not. So what that means is this. I know for a fact that my live with Fresh will be the lowest viewed video out of all his videos from today and in the future. How do I know that and why? Because it must be that way. Debt slaves must not know that the economy is psychological. They must not know that. That's bad. If debt slaves all woke up and realized if they all woke up and realized mortgages don't buy houses, the housing market would disappear. It would crash. If the bank denied everybody, if you had student loans and the bank did not approve you for a mortgage, if you had student loans, the housing market would disappear because the majority of you guys got student loans. If you don't know you cannot buy a house with a student loan debt, they're going to take financial advantage of you because you don't know you can't do that. If your student loans right now, if your student loans are older than your mortgage, you're a debt slave. When you're going to start uploading again, I will put in the work to become debt free. I'm buying this car, this cash. Okay, good. Buy that always. That's the only way to buy a car. PDR says, I believe the calculator. I think what I'm going to do is pay the $5,000 and within 2 months pay off the car. That'd be smart. Okay, that's what I would do. I would, if you had 5,000, first you got to recognize that you don't have 5,000 in the bank. Okay, that's fact. But what I would do is I would probably use all the money except 1,000, just like the Dave Ramsey plan. Just use all the money because it's really not there. So if you pay it off, you're gonna pay less in interest if you pay the debt off. So I would keep 1,000 and use the rest to pay off put it down on the car and pay off the rest. That's what I would do because that's what Dave Ramsey's plan says. Keep 1,000 in the bank, pay off the rest of the debt. Thank you, sir. My mom gets mortgages on houses and renovates them, then sells them for profit. That's called business debt. Okay, that's called business debt. So I'm not against business debt. Business debt is fine, as long as this is the difference between personal debt and business debt. Personal debt, you pay back. Business debt, your customers pay back. See what I'm saying? They pay your interest, they pay your taxes, they pay everything. The people do, not you personally. But when you get a personal loan, you have to pay it back. See the difference? That's the difference. So I'm not against business debt. That's why people, oh, that's they always say, oh, the rich don't use cash. That well, they're talking about business. You gotta like when you hear Robert Kiyosaki is talking about business debt. Okay, he's not talking about personal debt. Every time you hear him talk, he's talking about business debt. Hey, debt is good. I use debt, of course. But then when a debt slave's here, they say, when a debt slave says it, or hears Robert Kiyosaki says that, he'll come to a person like me and say, hey, Robert uses debt. Well, yes, that is true. But he's talking about business debt, not personal debt. And then you got some of these gurus telling you guys how to finance a car under the business thing so you can use it. They're telling you that if you're listening to people like that, you're probably thinking about doing that because you've destroyed your credit personally, and you think you're going to get something under business. Like the bank is not going to know what you're doing. They're going to know what you're doing. If you follow some of these people and say, hey man, go get a business loan, put the car under the car, the first thing the bank is going to do is going to run your personal credit report. And as soon as they see your personal credit report, they're going to know what you're trying to do. You guys, debt slaves, you guys have a pattern. You guys have a pattern. Like when you're in the debt matrix, you have been programmed to be scared of the taxes and the IRS agents and the IRS is evil. No, they're not. They're just the referees of the economy. Taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. They are the referees to make sure you guys follow the rules. You think you can participate in the economy without following the rules? You can't. You can't do that. If you think taxes are preventing you from building wealth, you don't understand how taxes work because they don't. Taxes help build wealth. They don't take away, they help build it. But when you're in debt, you feel like taxes are evil because you're financing them. Every time you finance something, you're financing taxes. If you financed your new iPhone 14, you financed the taxes associated with purchasing the iPhone 14 because you didn't have the money to buy the iPhone 14. So you're financing taxes too for 2 years. I will see. I will call in. Maybe. We'll see. But any questions before I go? Because I didn't plan on staying on too long. We only an hour. So if you guys have any questions before I go, because actually I got a couple emails. I got to respond to a couple people here. Okay. Let me throw up my Cash App. For those of you listening in the car, my Cash App is SavingsMinusDebt. And if you want a consultation, go to SavingsMinusDebt.com, schedule a consultation. And as soon as you schedule, I'll send you the bill or the price, and then you pay it, and we'll just go ahead from there. Exactly. We all did it. Nick. We all financed taxes. I was a debt slave, you guys. I was a debt slave. Well, again, I always try to tell people this, okay? Understanding that capitalism is psychological is a financial superpower. It is. It's a financial superpower. The majority must not know that capitalism is psychological. That is key. It would take over 200 years to even, I'm not even really worried about that because that's so far, I would never even live that long to even change anything. But I'm just here to help the people that want to be on the positive side of the economy. On the positive side of the economy, you follow all the laws, all the tax laws, all the rules, because you know that debt slaves are the currency. They pay for all my taxes. Why would I cheat on my taxes when I don't even have to pay for them? They pay for them. Your customers pay for your taxes. They do that. Cheating on your taxes is two things. It's first of all, it's an insult. Number two, it's because you don't understand how it works. That's why you're cheating. Thank you for speaking the truth and telling people how to be free. Of course. That's my purpose. I put it, the StreamYard link is in the chat. I keep posting it right there. So right there. No, the Streamline. No, you can just talk. No, I mean the consultation is $100, not to talk on the stream. If that's what you're saying. No, it doesn't cost money to talk here. No. Truly wise man, you definitely got to be on Fresh and Fit Money Mondays. You know what? I'm gonna reach out to him and see, and we can go from there. That'd be cool. PR says just put the 4K into the loan. Wow. Okay, just put the 4K into the loan. It should take 3-6 months to pay off. Oh, hey Nick, he pulled one of yours. He paid that shit right away. Congratulations. Congratulations. See, it's already starting to formulate in your mind. It's already happening. It's like, what is he talking about? What happens when I want you guys to all get to zero. When you get to zero, your life is going to change forever. You're going to be a financial genius. Listen, I'm adding to Einstein quotes. Whoever's back, can you put your whole face on the camera so we can, okay, there we go. All right, what's going on, man?
Hey, let's go.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. I was just detangling my hair, and I tapped in, and I was like, this value is free. And I wanted to, and I just had to like come on and just say appreciate it. I'm Dark Knight, by the way. I was the one bringing up the 5K student debt stuff and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
But man, I mean, you're 100% right. Yeah, and it's like, yes, I will have the money in the next 5 months, but it's like you don't have the money now. So why even put that risk when you could just buy a decent car for 5 or 4K?
Why put that stress on yourself? Why even put that stress on yourself? There's no
reason.
reason.
So it's like, you sold me, and I don't think I'll be getting that car. But who knows?
You know what? Put it this way. Put it in your mind. Once you become debt free, just set in your mind that you're gonna buy that car. I promise you, it'll work. Become debt free, but at the same time you're becoming debt free, think about the car that you want to buy. It will happen, but not the way you're thinking. But it'll happen. As long as you make up in your mind that I'm gonna buy that car in cash, it will happen. But you got to free yourself. You got to own yourself first. You got to be able to listen to the word. When you hear a person say, hey, I bought a car. How'd you buy that car? Financed it? You didn't buy anything. You see what I'm saying? People say it all the time. I bought this. Did you finance it? Yeah. They don't know what they're saying. They don't know that you can't buy a car with a car loan. You can't do that. That's 100% mathematically impossible. You can't do that. And you're young, man. How old are you?
I'm just 25 right now.
Oh, shit, man. Damn, I wish somebody would have told me this at 25. I would have been rich by 30. Easy.
That's the plan. I'm trying to hit like 6 figures by 28 and hopefully half or maybe even a quarter by 30.
This is what you do. Say it out loud. Say, I'm going to hit 6 figures by 28. Say it. Just say, I'm going to hit 6 figures by 28. Say it out loud.
I will make at least 100K a year by the time I'm 28 years old.
I will make 6 figures. Not at least. I will make 6 figures by 28.
I will make 6 figures by the time I'm 28 years old.
Done. And it's going to happen. You watch. But you got to be free. You got to own yourself. You can't be in debt. You got to get out of debt first.
I will be debt free by, I'll say, next year.
You're going to have to prove it to me. You're going to have to show me your personal credit report. That's going to prove it to me.
You know what? I'll do that. Okay. Next year around this time, I'll show you. And I know it will happen. I really believe that can happen. I know what I got to do to make it happen.
Correct.
So if I don't do it, it's probably something I did wrong. I probably bought a stupid car or something.
Right. That's why I show everybody my personal credit report. I have a video that you can go look. I logged into my Credit Karma. You saw it? Okay, good.
I saw it.
I want to make sure I'm not telling you something. I'm not telling you to do something that I haven't already done. I prove it to you. And I do something. Listen, I have done something that nobody else on the internet has done. Nobody except me. That tells you how powerful it is.
And that's one thing I wanted to add. I think I was on the live stream when you were with Fresh, and I was like, "Whoa!" He kind of mentioned. I was like, "Wait," because Spencer Cornelian on that. I mean, there's a few creators I've watched have done it, but the majority do not do that. And then once I dig through your channel earlier, I was like, "All right, let me see. Maybe he's just saying it." I was like, "Nope, it's right here. I mean, granted, it's like maybe 2 years old, but the point still
Right.
stands. Like you've already made it known that
Correct.
most of these people telling you what to do aren't even transparent with their credit history.
Has
So
Spencer
maybe
done that? Has that Spencer Cornelia done that?
I
Has he
believe he
changed?
had. It might have been a really long time ago. Like I remember he
Okay.
did it when I was in high school, so that was
Gotcha.
probably 5 years ago.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, Spencer's another guy I watch often, and he's
Hmm.
done
Okay.
that. Like it
Because I've never
probably
seen
changed.
nobody do that. I've never seen nobody show their personal credit report in its entirety like me. Not
I'm
just the
trying to.
credit score, the whole thing.
Oh,
That's what
that's a
I've
good
done.
point.
Yeah, not
That's a
the
good
credit
point.
score. Credit score don't mean nothing. You want to see inside the credit report. That's why I show my whole thing so you guys can see all the zeros. That means nobody owns me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're debt free.
Credit
Debt
reports,
free.
credit reports are owner ledgers. That's all they are. They keep track of who owns you. That's all.
I do have one question.
Mhm.
So how do you feel about the student loan cancellation bit? Before you answer that, for me, this is my take.
Mhm.
I always had a plan to pay off my student loan debt,
How much do you
but
have in student loan debt? You have how much did you say?
it was 5K.
Oh,
I
okay.
sh-
All right.
I should be able to pay that off by the next year. On
Mhm.
if I really wanted to, I guess I could pay it off now, but I'd rather get a car. Yeah. So, but anyway, for me personally, it I think it's a little outrageous, but it doesn't bother me whether or not the government decides to pay other people's student loan because I already knew how I was going to pay mine.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to lie, I'm going to capitalize it. If the free money's there, I'm going to capitalize it. But it's just weird how a lot of people are like, well, they're using my tax dollars. I'm well aware that our tax dollars that we're paying now has already been spent because of the way the economy is and how much debt the whole nation is. So I guess my point is you care about money that's already been spent. It's just goofy to me. That's my opinion on that.
Mhm. Well, I know capitalism is psychological, and the debt you're talking about are debt slaves. That's it. It's them. It's not money. Like when you look at the national debt clock, or whatever it's doing that, that's just showing you how fast debt slaves are spending money. That's it. It's them. That clock has nothing to do with me. It's just them. When they say, "Oh, our tax dollars are going to pay for the student loan debt," who cares? You guys are paying for it, not me. You. They are the taxes. It's them. When they think like, hey, they think it's unfair. It really doesn't matter because unless you have the money to pay off the balance, the 10,000 means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. If you have $90,000 in student loan debt that you've had for 10 years, and they knock off 10,000, unless you got $80,000 to pay it off, it doesn't matter. So you having 5,000 is nothing. I have clients that with hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt, hundreds of thousands. You are in such a wonderful position to pay off that. You pay off that little bit of 5,000, man. You're gonna be. I'm telling you, man. Your life's gonna change forever. It's gonna change forever. You're gonna own yourself at 20, at 25.
I could. That's about it. Because
See,
I mean, credit. I have some credit debt, but I'll pay it off next month. It's not a big deal. But yeah, like that's the only thing is that student debt.
you got to really understand that you don't own yourself.
No, yeah.
You,
Right now, I do not own
you're
myself.
owned. So
Yeah.
when you really feel and understand that you're owned, you won't be thinking about financing a car. You just wouldn't think like that because you know you'll be a slave for 84 months if you finance that car, or 60 months or whatever, right? You're not going to be a debt slave to a car. You just won't do stuff like, you won't give up your freedom for a car. Because if you finance a car, you don't own yourself for the next 60 months. You won't do that. At 25, understanding this, if you never finance anything, you'll be rich without even financing nothing. You'll be rich.
Appreciate the free game. I mean, I like your answer that you pretty much. I would say you agree with me. It's not even their money anymore. It doesn't even matter because if they don't have the money, at least 80,000 to pay it off. What does 10,000 more? Well, okay, now you owe 7,000 or 70,000. You're
Mhm.
still in debt. You're still a slave. So it's fair.
Yeah, you don't want to be not. I woke up at 40. Okay,
That's wrong. But you
It
hear,
seems like that because you're 25. That's why you think 40. You probably think 40 is old because you're 25, but you don't realize you're brand new to earth, not me. But you're really young. That's why you think 40 is old. But when you get to 40 and with this knowledge, you're not going to be looking old because you won't have any stress.
Mhm.
You'll be having plenty of sleep because when you have no debt, you sleep like a baby. You have no problems, none, zero. You're gonna be looking so young because everybody else is gonna be stressing over their debt, and you're not. They're gonna be like, "What's up with you, man?" You're gonna turn to them and say, "Because I ain't got no debt," and you're gonna be free for the rest of your life.
I definitely resonate with that because like whenever I owe some of my friends debt or anything like that, it's hard for me to sleep. And I guess I need to get to my mindset. It's like you're owned right now. You owe the government that 5K. You owe the credit card company whatever this amount.
Government owns you. Just say this to yourself: the government owns me until I pay back that student loan debt.
Sadly, the government does own me till I pay that student
You
loan.
go to the mirror and say, "I don't own myself.
Yeah, I don't even own myself. Man.
I'm a debt slave."
I'm a debt slave.
After a while, you'll get tired of saying that, and you're gonna get to zero ASAP. You're gonna do what it takes to get to zero. And once you get to zero, ain't nobody gonna be able to understand you, man. I'm telling you. You're gonna make up your mind to be able to do anything you want, and you're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
That's about it. Appreciate for you letting me on. Thanks for the free game.
You're welcome, sir.
And I got a lot of stuff to do.
You're welcome, man. It's not a lot. It seems like that at 25, but I put it this way, don't go out in public and tell people how much student loan debt you got. They're gonna be mad at you. They're gonna want to fight you. Okay, don't say it. Don't.
Right,
man,
I'll keep that to myself.
I got $5,000 worth of student loan debt. They're gonna look at you like, what? Oh, the hell you talking about, baby?
Comedy.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Okay, see you later, man. That's what I'm talking about. Catching a 25-year-old once he becomes a multimillionaire. Because you guys don't understand how Fresh and I met. You guys think, oh, Fresh is on Fresh and Fit, right? You guys don't know what it took for him to get there. You guys don't know where he started. I worked with him before he was Fresh. Well, he always had that name, but as you guys know, Fresh Prince CEO, I knew before he was that version of himself. He just didn't pop up there. He had to put in some work. That takes work to get to that level. That takes work. I helped Fresh own himself first, build up his own confidence by owning yourself, and then you just take off. You just whatever. You just take off. I want you guys to understand this. SMD, I am not SMD. SMD is a family. I just talk for SMD. Everybody's an individual. They all do their own stuff, but we all know that capitalism is psychological. We know that, and we all know that debt slaves of the currency. It's you. You guys are the cryptocurrency, the FTX, and whatever they make up in the future, because there's going to be some more stuff coming. And January is around the corner. You guys are not going to have money for student loan payments. You're not going to have it. You're not going to. So all the stuff that you bought while student loan payments were paused, you guys are about to lose it. People like me with money, we're going to be there to scoop it up for pennies on the dollar. Just scoop it all up. Scoop all the real estate, the cars, everything, because you guys are going to let it go. The bank don't want that crap. The bank don't want used cars. They don't want that. That's what happens when you come on the positive side of the economy. Like when you guys look at the scale chart of what class you're in, first class, middle class, lower class, they put a certain amount. Hey, if you make a 800,000 to $1 million, you are considered upper class. If you make this, you're in the middle class. If you make this, you're in the lower class. Economic classes don't exist for debt slaves. You guys are in a negative. Those economic classes that you guys see, that's for positive people. That's positive money. That money that you guys, hey, from this range to this range, you're in the middle class. Those are positive numbers, debt slave. That doesn't apply to you. Open up let's just go with your mortgage. Your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. That's the class you're in. That's your class. That's your economic class. You're probably saying, well, LJ, that's a negative number. There's economic classes negatively. That's what mathematics say. That negative number you see, that's on the mathematical number chart. That's just on the left side of the zero in the red. But it exists. You're in that economic class. For sure. Break those chains. Starting with the young ones. Don't resonate with it. Live debt free. You can read a book to learn to do anything, but you are not doing it until you take action. For sure. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you guys, give you guys the blueprint. I help you use mathematics. I help you apply mathematics to your finances. I help you own yourself. I help you get to zero. And once you're at zero, the sky's the limit. Here, let me say this to you so you guys understand what I'm talking about. One day I'll be talking to Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Richard Branson, all the top dogs, Bill Gates. Once they hear me and they hear me say, I know capitalism is psychological, they're going to reach out to me. I know something that the majority of the population around the world, because capitalism is worldwide, I know something more around the world than the majority of the people around the world. Capitalism is psychological. As soon as they hear me say that, then you guys will trust me. Once you see me on the stage with Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, all these rich, then you're going to say, oh shit, he was telling the truth. Yes, I already know that though. They don't know yet. They got a lot of noise to hear. They can't hear me. It's just a matter of time. That's it. Just a matter of time. Would you say, Crackle? He says, first-time home buyer getting a mortgage cannot buy a fixer-upper. The bank doesn't want their slaves taking care of something the bank can't resell for profit. You guys, like first-time home buyer stuff, man, it's just business. It's just business. The banks, congratulations, banks. Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. Any more questions? Any more questions? Okay, because that's like 1 hour and 30 minutes already. Any more questions? There's the link. You don't have to pay to get on. You don't have to pay. But you do have to pay for a consultation. If you want a consultation, SavingsMinusDebt.com. You can schedule your own consultation, and we can go from there. Correct. You're exactly correct, Michael. When you're debt-free, you can see how capitalism truly works. First of all, when you look at capitalism now, I understand none of it works without you guys. You think CarMax could be as big as they are if people wasn't financing cars? No. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't be as big as they are. You think Apple would be as big as they are if people were buying phones in cash? Nope. Nope. Debt slaves don't have $1,000 for a cell phone in cash. They're making car payments. Of course, you can't buy an iPhone in cash if you're making car payments. You can't do that. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to wrap it on up. Shout out to Fresh. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Do unto others. Do good unto others, and it comes full circle. It really does work like that. It really does. I always kind of heard it. But when you do, everything changes. Everything changes. But anyway, you guys have a good one. Thank you, all you newcomers. Much appreciated. Welcome. Welcome to the SMD family if you decide to stay. Check out the Discord server. I'm gonna put the link under this video. It's under it's in the details of every video, but I'll put it under this one too. SavingsMinusDebt.com, right there. That's my email. You can reach me on YouTube at SavingsMinusDebt, and here's the SavingsMinusDebt.com to schedule a consultation. All right. Cash App is SavingsMinusDebt. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate that. All right. You guys have a good night. S&D family knows I'm never up this late. Doing a live at least. Never this late. But thank you, everybody. If you catch the rebroadcast, thank you. Until next time. Later.